Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into this show today. Now, today's episode, we're going to take a look at the age-old debate. Is Chase and the House of Diamond credit card lineup overrated as we move farther and farther away from the launches of their bangers like the Freedom Flex and the Ink offers and all that stuff? So we'll go through it. Are they overrated? Where are they properly rated? Where are they perhaps even underrated at? How should that fit into your credit card strategy? So, of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, of course, when it comes to the land of credit cards, there are many providers, but there's only two that really are going like the top players, the Lakers, Celtics of their day, right? And that would be Chase and American Express. They have the better transfer partners, usually the more robust transfer partners that folks want. They have the best offers. They have the best cards, usually. There's definitely a drop-off. Sure, you can make arguments for particular cards like Adventurex and things like that, but across both lineups, they're the most solid, right? So it stands to reason that eventually, we would almost say, hey, is as much as we talk about Chase in particular, maybe we'll do Amex another time if people are interested, is Chase overrated? And I'm not going to make you wait to the end. I'm going to say, yes, Chase is overrated, but there's like a massive caveat in there of it depends on where you're at in your credit card game or your credit card journey. So we'll explain in a second, but I think a lot of times what we do is we start out and then years go by and then we look back and we're like, yeah, that thing I used to do was overrated. It's much like at one point in time when I was on the appraisal desk, when I first got into mortgage, I would work 70, 75 hours a week during the busy spring, summer, and even early fall seasons. And I'd probably make like, I don't know, 80, 90 grand total. But at the time, you're like, yep, this is awesome because it's more money than you've ever had. Now, you can make that and just work a regular 40-hour job as salary. So you're like, yeah, that's overrated. But at the time, that's what you had to do to get that level of money. This later thing in the salary wasn't an option yet, right? And so it's easy to like look back as current you with your current credit card setup and look back at Chase and like, that's overrated. I think that's the main thing. But let's break it down a little bit deeper. So the first pass where I don't think they're overrated at all is credit card intro offers. Number one, I think they do have the best intro offers. Now, Chase and American Express, they pay out, I would say, comparable amounts of money in their intro offers down most of the lineup. But the thing is, to get an American Express high offer, you have to purchase a $700 car. Yeah, I got a 200,000 MR point business platinum offer, but I do purchase. I do say the word purchase because it's a lot of sales and I'm giving them money. I had to purchase a $700 card. I still made tons of money on that. Don't get me wrong. If you did nothing else, it's a straight arbitrage play, right? 700 to get 200,000. If you value it 1 cent a point, don't spare me. I know the value here, but again, that's $1,300, right? So it still makes sense. But with Chase, I get a lot of high offers for free. Inks are often $900. And the ones that do cost money, the Sapphire Preferred is $95. It's easy enough to offset with the credit a little bit, but again, that was $900 this year, $800. Even the Ink Preferred, it's $95, but you're getting up to it was like 1,200 points or something like that. So you can pay a little bit of money on their Chase side, and you still get a really good offers. Whereas American Express, you got to pay a lot. You get a lot, but you also have to pay a lot, and you have to deal with a lot. So credit card offers, 100%, I give to Chase, hands down. They are not overrated in that space whatsoever. Now, the other part where I think they're still maybe underrated is on their credit card products, how easy they are to deal with. Their deposit accounts are totally different things. Deposit accounts, they're hypersensitive. They will kick you out of it at a moment's notice. But the credit card accounts, they're pretty lax. Now, they've pushed rules lately that, you're just not supposed to, if you're hosting a show, you're not really supposed to tell people too much about buying gift cards and all that. I've lost my Chase links, which we'll talk about later. So I can say that stuff, but they don't care about a whole lot, as where others, like American Express is super uptight. They do have rewards abuse. And of course, Chase has rewards abuse, but it is nowhere near the level to American Express. So the fact that you can get a bunch of cards and you can literally just go buy your gift cards, buy the Visa reloads, what have you, and just max out your categories that way, I think that is underrated. Now, the other part here, we get into personal opinion, I think is transfer partners is personal opinion. If you like high people some people love Hyatt, well, then you're gonna like them. If you don't really care for Hyatt, you don't really care for United, then you're kind of you might like somebody else. I actually prefer American Express's partners because they have Delta. Uh, I'm so on Hilton, but Marriott they share, but still. So like transfer partners are kind of like it's a toss up. It's like whatever it is to you, right? But either way, objectively, they do have at least a good lineup of, the core chains that you would see over here. Now, the other category, and we're kind of breezing through these because we've been around long enough, is the transfer portal. Again, I think their transfer portal is pretty good. They've spent serious money, buying CX loyalty. It used to be back end through Expedia, or black private label through Expedia, and now they've just bought CX loyalty and doing it themselves. So they've put significant investment in the travel portal. Is easy to use and it's good. I like it. I used to use it a ton. The trifecta setup is nice. I do think there is a huge value in that, and getting points, especially in the early game when you don't have a ton of cards to get a bunch of different points, currencies perhaps. I used to use the travel portal a lot. I used to use the Sapphire Reserve 1.5x boost as well. I think that's fine. I think that's one thing I do think does become overrated the longer you play, because maybe you get into having direct airline cards and you start going enough places, you got your miles over there, and you prefer more transfer partners. But in the early game, the transfer portal was for the travel portal was pretty good. So spots where they've become overrated, I think, is really the credit card products themselves, right? If you look at it, the last knockout card they had was the Freedom Flex, and that was a knockout card. It was basically taking the Evolution Stone to the OG Freedom, and you got a lot of stuff with a free card. It's still one of the strongest free cards on the market, for sure. But what Chase has done, and it's been called out rightfully so, is they use the rotating categories to hide from the categories that people really want. People really want groceries. Yes, I know the Sapphire Preferred is online groceries. That's not what people want. They want gas stations. They don't do that. The Ink Cash is 2% gas station. That's like, that's nothing really, right? People want categories like that, and where other issuers have gone after them. The Strata Premier card was the Strata Elite, for one of the two, whatever they're calling the new version of the City Premier, does have those at 3x. It's a $95 card. Wells Fargo, the autograph card, I'm super high on Wells Fargo, has those, right? Even the travel categories on Chase's core travel cards aren't that high when you look at something like an autograph Journey. So the categories on their core cards, not the co-branded stuff, but the core cards, Freedom Unlimited, the Ink cards, those are severely lacking. It didn't get complained about as much for a while because you could have so many of the cards, and you could use the categories to buy store gift cards and they didn't care. So it kind of worked, but again, objectively, I think people started to pass them up in the category space, and them hiding from the core categories that people want is starting to get old and starting to get noticeable, especially as we start to see some of the competition come out stronger and go after some of those categories that Chase has ignored in the past. So that part, the core portfolio, I do think is starting to age a little bit. Again, it's been about 4 years, I think, since the Freedom Flex came out. That was the last time where they've had new products since then, but that was the last time we're like, okay. Since then, I mean, again, we've seen the custom cash. I think the custom cash kind of changed it a little bit for us. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm not counting the autograph because that was just the Propel Reborn. Then they took it from us and gave it back. But again, my feelings on the autograph Journey, even the Attune card. So yeah, the products themselves definitely starting to lack a little bit. And I don't think it's as helpful to fall back on the travel portal and the trifecta and all that stuff. Now, there's one other part here that we should really talk about when it's overhyping, and that is people like me selling cards, the affiliate programs. The part of it is that the affiliate, you see the most videos made about Chase cards, trying to sell you Chase cards, and that does play strongly into the overhype. There's a reason for that, though, and it's annoying, but it's not really it's not nefarious, right? Because if you look at the affiliate programs, Chase, at least for more times than I can remember, if the high offer on their main page is $900 for the ink, well, that's what the affiliate link is going to be, $900. Sometimes you do get more money. I don't never actually seen a list of how much we used to get paid for each card. I'm sure I could if I asked maybe, but I've never seen a list. But I can tell you, like sometimes when they're pushing a campaign, then that is much higher. You're talking up to a few $100s, and sometimes it drops down to $100, something like that, sometimes less, right? It really just depends on what they're paying on the back end. But the point being is that because Chase will make the affiliate link the same as the link on the main page, then it's much easier for me to go make a video on the second channel, Run on the Bank, which is where we do all of our bank promotions, adding credit card offers, and tell people, hey, you should sign up for this. Conversely, if you look at American Express, they will run a high offer, but they don't even put it on their main page. The way to find American Express high offers, as you know, is to go through card match, is to go through incognito mode. And so those offers of 200,000 business platinum doesn't come down to the affiliate channels ever. So that's why you see more people pushing Chase cards, I believe, because I've done videos when they refresh the gold card and the business gold, and I'll throw an affiliate link down there, but I'll say, hey, it's go through incognito, go through card match, right? That's the way to find these offers. You can't even go to their homepage. So much so that Chase actually has like added rules where you have to sell so many cards, or you don't get links anymore. I didn't sell enough cards. I don't get any links for Chase anymore, and that's fine. But I also know that I'm never going to sell. I will likely never sell another affiliate card again. They're on the website. They're there, but it really just leaves American Express, who we just covered, and you're really only talking about a handful of cards over there. So that's why you see the affiliate program, and that does largely contribute to the overhype and like the surge of, is the Sapphire preferred good? Like, we can answer that in 4 questions. No, but if you can get $900, sure. Well, it's not bad, but it's okay. But you get my point, right? So that's kind of it. So if we come back to the original premise of, are they overrated? Yeah, I think they're overrated, because what you end up seeing is a lot of folks saying, well, I got to protect my 524 status, right? I don't want to apply for anything else. I don't want to go over 524. That's the rule. If you've applied for more than 5 cards or gotten approved for more than 5 credit cards in the rolling 24-month period, Chase is going to decline you. I know there's some leeway in that with co-brandings, but just for simplicity's sake, that's the rule. And I think that's the part where they start to get overrated. It's almost like you should definitely make your first pass, because if you're just starting out in the credit card game, then I would say, no, it's not overrated to start with Chase, because of the amount of money you will miss out on if you skip past those cards. But I don't think you need to start staying in Chase land, because you can get to a point where you're always borderline 524 if you're going at a reasonable pace. Ink cards still are $9,000 worth of spend. So if you're doing one of those every 3 months, but there's 4 ink cards. I mean, those don't even count towards 524. They're business cards. I mean, you could end up staying in 524, this purgatory limbo space. That's when you start to get into the overratedness of it. And I believe you start costing yourself more money if you don't go out and look at other cards. And again, as we've seen, the custom cash kind of came out. I think that started to change the way we looked at Chase cards specifically, because now I've got this 1.5x card where I can use it on one thing that I want easily versus a rotating category card. And then the argument almost shifted from how many freedom cards can I have to how many custom cash cards can I have. And that's largely if you're playing cash back, sure. Of course, City does have travel. So I think things like that have gone to pass up Chase overall. Now, do I think Chase will actually do anything? No. I mean, they're still the biggest bank here, like the 5th largest in the world or something, the top bank in the States. So I don't think they're going to do anything. I don't think they necessarily need to like go and revamp everything, because again, what I want them to do and what they need to do for them are 2 entirely different things. But yes, I think they are, for me, as someone this far in the game who now has cards from Chase, City, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, you name it, I've got it, right? Then yeah, now I can look back and say they are overrated. But again, there was a time when you're first getting started that they are paying the most for cards. They're still easily accessible. Their currency was easy to use, and the travel portal does help you go more places through the Sapphire bonuses and the transfer bonuses and things like that, or the booking bonuses and things like that. So again, to close here, I think it depends on where you're looking at Chase and where you're at in the journey. So for me, yes, I think they're overrated, and I barely use my Chase cards anymore. Still glad I have them, but I really don't use them that much anymore. But if you went back 3, 4 years ago, that's exclusively what I used. And so when we say something's overrated, we really just got to be mindful of like where we're at and who we're talking to. Because I wouldn't necessarily tell an 18, 19-year-old person starting out in this game, avoid Chase, they're overrated. That would be a mistake. Go through Chase, hit your money, build out a ladder of how you're going to capitalize on all their core cards and then whatever co-branded stuff you want before you're done. But as we said, don't stick around too long because there is a part where you start to cost yourself money, especially in a cashback space where you can just mix and match from anywhere. So, long story short, there you go. That's my opinion on Chase. Overrated, but again, it's easy for me to say being an elder statesman of the game. So let me know your opinion of Chase down below, what you think, where we're right, where we're wrong. Of course, if you want us to go through and do, well, you know what I'm going to say about American Express, but if you want to go through and see is it overrated or not with any of the other issuers, let us know that down below, and we can definitely take a look at it. Of course, guys, if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you find it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel, because, of course, we're posting content just like this every single week, and, of course, right back every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance, and, of course, every single day over on ProfitableContent.com, which is the channel's blog. We have not only the latest news stories, we have bank promotions, some from Chase, actually a really good $900 one right now, and we have credit card offers. No Chase affiliate links, but we do have Chase referral links, because, you know, gotta plug something, right? So that'll be always linked down below for you. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.